Hey, what's going on? It's Austin, host of the Young Mind Podcast. Today's black hero is going to be George Louis Montgomery. Montgomery and a group of colleagues came together and created what would be the first black bank in the state of Missouri. The Gateway National Bank of St. Louis opened in 1965, and this was a big deal. In the 60s, banks were doing everything they could to hold blacks back, whether it was not hiring blacks for positions, doing predatory lending, and even steering blacks to certain neighborhoods. What they were doing was messed up, and it was holding the blacks down. Montgomery was the driving force of getting this bank open, but he didn't do it alone. He had a group of professional colleagues, all black and from the St. Louis area, come together, and they raised $500,000 to get this bank up and running. In the 60s, financial advancement for blacks was pretty much impossible. 9% of the population was black, and since banks weren't giving out loans, and if they did, they had ridiculous interest rates, it was hard for blacks to go anywhere financially. So this bank was huge. This bank offered the opportunity for blacks to buy houses, start business, even pick up information by getting jobs within the bank. And they were also doing free classes just to teach black business owners on how to read financial statements just so they could be more literate when it came to finances. And what really hurts is when I did research, I only found about 2 resources that had valuable information on it. And I just think that this is such a big deal. So I really want to give a shout out to George Louis Montgomery, but I also want to give a huge shout out to the board of directors and the people that came together and made this happen. So here we go. Clyde Cahill, Dr. John Jackson, Leo Bohanon, Melvyn Harrington, Tom Jones, Dr. Benjamin Davis, Clifton Gates, James Harding, Dr. Jerome Williams, George Montgomery, James Hurt, and James Clark. So I want to give a special thank you to all of those men. You guys came together and created the first black bank in the state of Missouri. I cannot imagine the adversity you had to go through. And just to think 60 years later, history has not been kind to you. You guys created the first black bank and you provided opportunities for countless black families in a time when they were doing everything they could to hold us back. Thank you, George Louis Montgomery, for having this idea, bringing these people together, and getting the Gateway National Bank of St. Louis open. I cannot thank you guys enough, and I hope that history gets rewritten and you guys are included in it because you guys are a big part of St. Louis history. Thank you guys. You are all true heroes, and thank you, George Louis Montgomery. Peace.